Hello, Crafting Mantis here, and welcome back to another episode on the Diamond Society server. So I am super excited. We are now in 1.13, which of course means no Optifine. So we are just going to have to suffer without Optifine, but we have all the new features and all the new bugs. So one of the things that I have been super excited about are the trapdoors. You got all this, nice, wonderful, update aquatic stuff, and I'm excited about trapdoors. That's all right. I don't know why. I don't know why I am so excited about the trapdoors. I guess it's, that and buttons and pressure plates. I guess it's one of those more, like the whole decorating thing. It makes it so much better. I mean, now I have lids. I have lids for the urns that are over here in the grape crushing area, which is fantastic. I'm definitely so excited about that. And then that'll allow us to do some of the other interior stuff as well. Now, the other thing we ended up getting is bark blocks, and that is actually what we are going to be working on today. I have started the orchard. So we got this orchard over here. I wanted to show you guys what I have already done. I was kind of playing around with a new way to make trees. So we've got all of these already done. And then, so they're just, just different kind of shapes and different placement of the red wool, which is, kind of to signify an apple, since we don't have the, the custom heads for, apples and stuff. But I wanted to kind of show you guys how I make these trees. So first thing that I do, I've got 2 bark blocks down plus the actual, the actual trunk. And then 1, 2. This is where the bottom leaves are going to end up being. So we go 3. And then let's see, this one appears to be moving more towards this way. So I want this one to lean a little bit more this way. So switch over to bark blocks, and then I'm going to do a little branch like this. And then let's lean it in towards the other one. Let's go 3 there. And then what we'll do, I did do a regular one. Silly Mantis. So, like so. And then let's go ahead and do 1 on each side. And then let's bring the trunk up. And then what we can do, this one is going to come out this way. And then let's bring this one out this way. So, and the great thing about the bark blocks is that you can pretty much place them wherever and it's not going to matter. And then with this one, let's bring this branch out this way. Kind of looks like those 2 branches are connected, but I think that will be okay. So bring this out. And the thing with this too is that it is, it is just a basic shape. When I make these trees, I do end up removing some of the wood as I'm adding leaves. And then let's bring that one up 1. And so we are definitely a lot heavier on this side. So we will need to bring this out some. And then let's bring this up like so. So this is just basically getting a general shape for the tree. And then when you start adding leaves, then that's when you really start to, really shape up the tree. So that, I think, will make a good starting point for the tree. Though definitely really light on branches over here. So let's go ahead and do that. And then bring that one out 1. That way we get a little bit more shape. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over to the leaves. Now, I start out by wherever I see wood, I start just spamming in leaves. That way all of the wood is covered. And then, like I said, we'll go back through and I start to go through and add a little bit more shape to everything. But this right here, this allows you to kind of get an idea of how you want things put together. And then you just sit there and add, oop, I can't jump there. All right, add more detail and stuff. So there we go. Because one of the things that I found is a lot of times I end up with these very, symmetrical shapes and stuff like that. And so what you want to do is you want to kind of go back in and get rid of some of the oddities. Granted, you still want the actual tree to be kind of messy. Because trees, real life trees are, they're messy. So we're just adding in all kinds of leaves, and let's bring that one. And then let's add, there we go. And I think that is most of the bark covered. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, there are some really weird shapes with this. So let's go ahead and switch over to our shears. I am not liking how this one pops out like that. And in fact, I think what I want to do, let's go ahead and remove both of those. And then do that as a little divot. And then what we can do is let's go ahead and like so. Yeah, I'm definitely not liking how this is kind of pointing out like that. And then this one, let's go ahead and add a leaf there. And then let's bring the leaves out a little bit further there. And then let's bring it down one more. Yeah, I'm not 100% sold on that. Maybe it's this one. And of course there's a bark block behind it. And then, yeah, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. And then that'll add a little divot there. So that is looking okay. So let's go ahead and come up here. Add a leaf block there. I'm not liking this. Get rid of that one. And then let's add leaf there. So a lot of this is just kind of going through and, kind of fine-tuning what it is that you see. So let's get rid of that one. And, oh, there's another one. So like I said, a lot of times I just end up coming through and it's like, oh, well, that doesn't look quite right. That doesn't look quite right. And then you just kind of, trying to shape it up. And that, see how that just kind of sticks up there? Definitely not liking that. And then this one, you've got 3 that are right in a row. And so let's get, that should add a little bit more shape on that side. Yeah, and then I think what we want to do is go ahead and connect up those. And then like that. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a crazy looking tree, but, that's, it's kind of what I wanted in the trees. And again, this one is looking, yeah, this is looking a little funky. Let's go ahead and do that and do that. And then we'll do that. Add a little bit more. And that, wow, that bark block is just, it's acting all kinds of crazy. There we go. All right. And then we can add in an apple there to kind of, oh, not there. I didn't want to put it there. We want to put it right. And I go to my shelf. There. Okay. There we go. And then, yeah, we're still a little, there's just a little bit too much weight here. Okay, there we go. So that kind of breaks that up. And then let's go in here and do that. There we go. I mean, yeah, I think it's the top one that's throwing me off. So let's go ahead and pillar up here and get rid of you. And then we'll get rid of you. And it is getting nighttime. And then let's get rid of you. And then let's take a step back and check on our handiwork. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, it can definitely use a little bit more. Oh, there we go. I was in a block. Okay, so let's do that. And then let's break out that one. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and sleep, and then we can kind of discuss as I'm sleeping what is going to come next, because we definitely don't need to have creepers or husks attacking us while I'm trying to build this. So the next step after kind of, you know, creating that shape is to then go in with the wool. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we can come back over here. And so what I do is I go in and I look for areas where only one side of the wool is going to show. Granted, I didn't really work in some of those. Some of those, they ended up showing a little bit more. Now with this one, this is actually going to show two. But you'll see it really only from one side. So like that. That definitely works. And then let's get up here. Stuck in an... Oh. Stuck in a leaf block. Alright, there we go. Now let's break out this one and then add one here, because I try to get up here, because you will see, you know, like there are a lot of people who do fly around, so I kind of like getting the top as well. And then let's go ahead and add in an apple here, because I think that'll do the same thing. Yep, you'll get it from two different sides, but really only see it from one. And then let's come up here and Endermite. Okay, apparently epic fail with the ender pearls. There we go. And then I was thinking, right, oh, not two. All right, one, and then there. All right, I'm liking that. It's a little, you know, it does have, you know, some issues, and I might still need to work on it while, you know, while I'm working on the other trees. I might notice, you know, a way that I can end up improving it. Now, the next step in this process is to add a little bit of life on the bottom. You notice on the bottom of these, I ended up going through and adding some coarse dirt. Because with apple trees, they drop a lot of stuff, and it prevents, you know, it prevents things from growing underneath. And then I also added in some leaves, you know, because, you know, they do drop leaves. So it, you know, definitely adds a lot more to, you know, to the orchard, which I want to add as much life as possible into this area, because this is definitely, you know, this is definitely an area where there's, you know, a lot of agriculture and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and add in the leaves. So with the coarse dirt, I just I do it next to the, you know, next to the bark, and then try to kind of expand it out just a little bit, using, you know, using the leaves just to add a little bit. And then let's go ahead and add a leaf block right there. And then also I can end up coming back and adding some lights underneath to kind of light the orchard up at night. And if you notice over here, I've also got it bone meal, because I already finished this row. So I went ahead and added the bone meal just to add, you know, just add a little bit more to it. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to add anything else in here. I might add, you know, some little random, you know, like little random rocks and stuff like that. There is going to be a big one in the center here, which is going to house the beehives, because the bees are the ones that end up pollinating the apple trees. So definitely happy with that. I am going to continue working on the other trees, and then once I get more progress done, I will be right back with you guys. Alright guys, so I have finished the apple side of the orchard. Now I must apologize for the way that one tree ended up coming out, because these other ones came out just fine. So apparently I was feeling a little bit of camera shy and a little bit nervous when I was building that tree, because I've never done, custom trees and stuff really on camera. So I don't know what happened, but at least I at least got the general gist of how these go together. But we have the apple side all done. And then I ended up making this path. I'm not 100% sure on this, like especially up on the top, because I think I put a little bit too many path blocks in this one. So I might end up changing that out to a little bit more of the coarse dirt, because I don't want to be, I don't want this to be like the main path, because the main path, this is traveled all the time. And so this is a little bit more well packed. You got wagons that run down it. And then this is just a path that, they end up using in order to cut through the orchard. Now, one of the details I did add is these little baskets with apples in them. Granted, you'll have to use your imagination. The wool is a pile of apples. But yeah, so I added these, kind of periodically through. I got, I think, three up here, and then I have 2 down here. So it kind of looks like, they're in the process of gathering up apples from the orchard. Now, the other thing that I added is the beehives. So I put in another one of my my little rocks here, and then we want to actually get rid of this. Come on. Sorry, I'm lagging just a little bit. Connection isn't all that fantastic. There we go. There used to be a tree here, and so that's the reason why there's, coarse dirt and leaves throughout here. So I'm gonna have to clean this up a bit. But we got this rock here, and I figured, what, they probably had this rock in the middle of the orchard, and they decided to go ahead and use it for the beehives. Now the beehives are just like, are kind of like the urns that are over in the grape crushing area. They're, they're more rounded than what Minecraft allows, but they would have the these tops to it that they can then remove to actually get inside into the beehive. And they would end up using these in order to pollinate the flowers in the apple orchard, as, well, really any orchard. And so these little bees would end up getting busy and buzzing around and pollinating all the flowers. And yeah, so definitely super happy with the way that this part of the orchard has turned out. Now, the other side of the orchard is actually going to be a different type of tree. I'm thinking about doing fig trees on that side. So I will have to gather up some more supplies in terms of, wool and dyes, because the figs would be more of a purple. We don't really have a color that's close enough to figs to really be figs. So we will just go with purple, as it's probably the closest color that we have. But I am definitely super happy with the way that this came out. And the great thing, and it's doing exactly what I wanted it to. If I come over here, I can show you guys why I wanted to do these, do these trees. Because if you're coming through here, you can just see the vineyard kind of popping through. And then I'm going to be doing the most likely a tree grove over there, and then a tree grove over there. And then you'll have the fig trees on this side. And so you can just see, like the little house is just popping up. And so it kind of draws you in that direction. It's like, oh, wait a minute, I see something on the other side of those trees. And so you're going to end up wanting to take this path and come down, and you're like, oh, what is over there? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, sweet, it's a house. So that's the reason for, for these, the trees and stuff, is to kind of break it up and draw your eye through. Like this, it frames the Colosseum. And so it draws your eye that way. And you're like, what is that? And then with the fog, of course, it looks even cooler. So, but that's, that's kind of the reasoning behind, my placement of different things, is to help draw the eye to different locations and, be like, what is that? I wonder what that is. And that's, that's kind of how I've been developing this area. So I am definitely super happy with the way that this came out. And then I definitely hope that you guys have enjoyed this. It was definitely different, kind of doing a, mini tutorial on camera. definitely need to practice that a little bit more so that, I'm not quite so camera shy and, screw things up. But that is all right. So if you guys did like this episode, definitely hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. It definitely helps out the channel. And then if you want to be notified as to when I put out additional content, then definitely hit that notification bell. But for now, I'm going to call it, and I will see you guys in the next episode.